Hello, Tim Ahlberg here to take you on a quick walkthrough on how to do an ELSA application. So it's all explained in the instructions, but I thought a video might be helpful for some of our friends who learn visually like myself. So I'm gonna do a little screen sharing and we're gonna go on an adventure. So anywhere you go on the Elmhurst webpage, that's elmhurst.edu, you're going to see always at the top, apply, visit, request info. So apply is the one you want to do. And hey, you should visit and request info too. That gets you into our database ahead of time. But when you apply, it's going to take you to this page, which has a bunch of different portal entrances for undergrad, grad, ELSA, and Doctor of Nursing practice. So you definitely want to do ELSA if you're watching this and I'm your counselor. That's the way to go. Once you create that, you go in, you log in, it's going to give you a temporary PIN number. Write that down. It'll also email it to you because you're going to use your favorite email, the one you actually check, to do this account. Now, parents, you could use yours if you want, but know that we really want the students' email here because this is sort of coming from their perspective. But yes, parents and students should do this together. So once it's created, it'll give you a PIN, and then you start the app, and it's going to give you a basic page of just like, here's your name, your birthday, kind of all that fundamental contact info, and then your account is created. From that point on, you're going to access your application through the check your application status. So when you click that, it goes right to the bottom. And here it is, the three places you go to check. So ELSA application status, this box is the one you're going to click from now on. Don't go back and create a new application. For the last several years, people keep making new applications and it makes our database insane and all of our coworkers, and especially me, insane. So go through this, click on that, and then I'm already logged in. I've already created a page, so I already have an ELSA app started. And every time you log in, because you could work on it, go away, come back, as long as you have your password written down, and you have all the emails and you know how to get into it. So, people get very easily lost in creating portals. I know I do, because everything on earth requires a password and a login and a portal and on and on and on. This is ours. So here I have started a fall 2025 ELSA application. Click it, and then I click open application. And here we go. And here's all the instructions on how to do this. I try to make this as clear as I can. In the future, there's going to be a link to this here YouTube video right here. And then this goes over all the things that we need. This complete application, a writing sample, one letter of recommendation / assessment form completed by a teacher, counselor, or professional that works closely with your student. That's new. We used to always ask for two from teachers and counselors and one from a parent. Now we just want one from a counselor, not a traditional letter, but one of our forms, and I'll show you that in a sec. We'll need a psych eval, preferably done within the last 3 years. We'll need a current IEP, the latest and greatest IEP, and high school transcripts. Eventually, we're going to need official ones. Now, if you're still in high school, you haven't finished or graduated or taken your diploma, so you can send unofficial for purposes of review, but before you start here, we have to have official ones sent with your graduation date sent to us after completing all that stuff directly from the school to us. That's what official means. So yay. Now, when you finish the app, I'll get back to this again at the end. You have to submit it, and then you'll have a place to upload some of these documents. There's nowhere along the way while you're building the application to upload those documents. People ask me that all the time. So know that that comes at the end. So each tab along the side is a different section of the application. So this is the instructions page. The home takes you to the front door. The student information, some of that should already be populated because that's your basic contact, mailing address, all that good stuff. Campus diversity, let us know who you are, gender identities, all that kind of good stuff. Activities and interests is letting us know about what you're into, clubs, hobbies. It gives us some information about you, student. Academic history, this is a little bit important because this is where you tell us what school you're from, and you actually have to add an institution, and you actually have to match it with our database. So when you start typing the name of your high school, make sure that it's coming up with a bottom line that you can click on so that it puts it to the official connector to that school in our database. Most schools in the area are in there. If they're absolutely not, there's an option just to say not in the database. But this way, when we get the transcripts, we can match them up. It all works really well electronically behind the scenes. So that's important to do. You can tell us about any work history or volunteer history. Parents, any medical information you'd like to share with us goes there. And parents, like I said at the top, you should be doing this with your students. So there's a place for family information. Make sure everything's spelled correctly. Emails are correct. Phone numbers are correct. Take your time. This is that letter of recommendation form area. Like I said, we used to require 3, and now we only want 1. We used to want one from a parent, which is why the bubbles are still at the top. We're trying to figure out how to get rid of that, but you are going to only do this with a professional. So click professional up there. Make sure all their information, especially their email, is spelled correctly. Because once all this is submitted, then you waive whether you want to see it or not, then you send it. So this system sends it to your recommender, and it's a form that they complete, and it sends it back to us. We don't want a traditional letter telling us how cool you are. We'll figure that out for ourselves. But this, we want a form. It's a rating thing. And so just one person, a professional you've worked with, should do this. And it should all be done here. And if they have trouble, I can always resend this and such from my point of view. The essays are an important thing. We want to see how students write. So you can type students right into these boxes, response to these questions in bold. If you want to work on it a little bit, you can save out and go and work on it and cut and paste in here. We really don't need more than a couple of paragraphs if you're a big writer, but if you're not a big writer, a couple of sentences to the best of your ability is what we're looking for. We just want to see how you write. You can let us know if you want to live here. You can let us know if you've been in trouble before. That's what self-disclosure is about. And then the signature page is just, okay, I'm not lying. This is all true. I type my name in, press the confirm button. And then at the end, the review button is kind of important. So I haven't done anything in this application, so I'm far from being complete. But once all of these things are in here, instead of save for later, it'll say submit. And so you can press that submit button, and that'll send everything to the database. And this whole application page is going to turn into the virtual roost, which is your application portal. Yay, portals, logins, passwords. It's so much fun. But in that virtual roost, it's going to give you a place to upload those other documents, the IEP, the psych eval, and an unofficial transcript if you have it as a PDF. So you can upload those things after you submit the app. And then when all that's in, it'll also have a checklist in that section to show you what you're missing. Then I will send it up to the ELSA team for review. And if you are admissible on paper, then I will reach out to set up an admission interview. All of this, we like to happen kind of in the winter, usually in January, February. We might knock off a few in December, depending on where we are and how many of these we get. January 15th is always our kind of preferred deadline, but we will take folks until this program is full. And of course, you have questions. That's why I'm here. This is my job. I will respond via email, most likely, ahlbergt@elmhurst.edu or elsa@elmhurst.edu. If you're seeing this, you've probably already exchanged email with me. Hopefully you visited, hopefully you know who I am. And if you haven't, and you're like, this is the first time you see me in this video, then you should probably come and visit or do one of our events or come and do a tour appointment with me, whatever is clever. So I look forward to seeing you on campus soon, and best of luck with your application.